Hey Travis, it's a pleasure to connect, man. How are you today?
Doing well. Thanks for asking, man. Thanks for having me on. Did you
Of
get a lot
course.
of response from everybody?
Yeah, I'm getting some good responses via the group. There's been a couple people that I had interviews with for today to strategize to go live tomorrow. Been reaching out via text, so I'm excited.
It's good, man. I'm excited for you. That's a great day.
Thank you, man. And now I just want to introduce you. I have Travis Parry here. He works on work-life balance, and he loves to help people make sure that they can achieve the proper life for themselves and find fulfillment. So, what does that look like for you having a proper work-life balance?
You know, uh, to me, it's all about the actual exercise of balance. Like so many people think, well, balance is this old 1980s term of being so stoically put in equal amounts of work, equal amounts of, home related things, personal, but really balance is fluid. It fluctuates. And so for me, and what I've done with research and writing this book, Achieving Balance, I've researched, for several years trying to write the thing and interviewed a lot of business owners, found that balance actually is when you're living your life's highest priorities. So having those priorities in order, priority management trumps time management. Time management is a tool if you have your priorities already in order.
Yeah, so I can see with that, getting people's work ethic, their more so their values and their core values set in motion. Do you find that people have trouble finding out what their true core values are to help them prioritize what's mostly important?
Yeah, I think a lot of people think, well, I've got goals, right? I got business goals, I've got some workout goals, and goals are helpful, but those are really just the actions. What really matters, like you just mentioned, is your core values. What are your values? How do you discover those? So I've got a really cool process I use, something I call the mini obituary. It's in chapter 2 of my book. But really, what you do is you try to imagine yourself, you know, passed away, and looking back on life, saying, this is the person that I want to be in all 10 areas of life. I have 10 areas I identify in all 10 areas of life, and you focus more on becoming that person versus achieving or accomplishing some goal. You see the disconnect there is a lot of people are focusing on, let me check that box. Okay, I did that, versus I became this type of person. And then when you discover what that person is you want to be, a lot of times it's already in here, it's already up here. But then when you put it to paper and you realize, oh, I'm trustworthy, I'm honest, I am successful, I am healthy, right? All of those things, those are your values. Those characteristics that describe you are the values that you hold dear. And internally, when you act out of congruence with those internal values, your conscious knows that, and your subconscious knows that. And so it creates stress, this cognitive dissonance that gets talked about a lot. It's because you are acting incongruent with those values. But when you act incongruent, that's when you actually feel balanced.
I love it. And that's something that I talk about in my book that will be coming out soon that I have available for pre-order tomorrow, March 20th. It's called Core Fitness. And after I go into the different aspects of wellness, like you're mentioning, you have social, you have occupational, you have environmental, you have physical wellness. I do go into physical wellness, being that my trade and focusing on how I'm helping people and serving. What I'm finding out most important is getting clear on what do you envision, who do you want to become, and then setting that mindset to be able to become that. That allows the exercises, the nutrition to fall into line because of the fact of what you talked about, becoming the individual that you want to be and down the road. It doesn't matter how long it is, it's more so get clear on that and work on it every day.
Absolutely. That's the clarity is huge. Clarity around that is so vital. Otherwise, you're just acting, and you're not sure if you're even going in the right direction.
Love it. And with that right direction, what I find to be very important and true is that we all get to decide that. We come to grips of Who do I want to become? How do I want to live? How often do I want to stay fit and mentally, physically, and for my career? So I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, with you, what else do you have going on? I know you came out with your book. Let the people know a little bit more about the book. I would love them to hear about it.
Yeah. So I wrote this book last year. We were able to publish it on Kindle in January. This is my author's copy because my pre-order is coming hopefully today or tomorrow. So I'm waiting in the mail to get my box full of books. But it publishes in a paperback on March 24th. So you and I are really close on our release dates here. Mine is paperback on Wednesday. It's available at achievingbalancebook.com. What I did here is I found as a business owner in the financial planning field, I was stuck in the workaholic trap. And I call the workaholic trap because you get started, you have this idea, you want to do a fitness training or you want to do coaching or, you have consulting business, whatever it is. And you get started with it, you spend time on logo and back support, what your back office support stuff and fulfillment, but you get so deep into the weeds that it's difficult to stop. It's difficult to create boundaries every day. And, your health, physical health, your emotional health, even relational health, they start to fail because you're not putting the time into those areas. And it eventually will catch up. You could be really successful at work, but it catches up with you. Your health will if you're not adamant about making that a priority. And I've seen other business owners struggle in their relationships, with their marriages, with their own children. The thing that they profess to be one of their highest priorities, they let that kind of fall with building the business as the excuse. And I think we get stuck in this workaholic trap when we're not careful about, setting those boundaries. So in the book, I talk about balance, how it's actually kind of a myth, as we just discussed. It's actually living your priorities and then managing your time well enough and setting those boundaries so that you can live your life with intention, on purpose, and achieve both your business and personal goals. I coach advisors, financial advisors. I coach individual business owners on how to do that. So if they feel like they're stuck in that workaholic trap, that's what I do to help them. I speak. I write, for my first book, I'm able to write books and get it out there. I have online courses. If they want to reach me, they can go to achievingbalancebook.com and get the book right now for coming March 24th for shipping only.
Now, is that a Friday, March 24th?
It's a Wednesday,
Wednesday.
March 24th. Yes. So it's my 41st birthday. I declared on my 40th birthday that I was going to write this thing. And here it actually is in paper, black and white on the inside. So it's kind of an amazing thing. I was able to get that done in a year. And for people who are wondering, like, well, Travis, did you, break all of your rules of keeping the work-life balance? No, I have 6 children and I work no more than 30 hours a week, and I have multiple six-figure business. So it can be done. It can be done. You can create these boundaries. You really just have to have the right priority management, time management. And in the end, my secret sauce, this is my wife there. And for most people, it's your spouse, it's a significant other, it's an accountability partner that you can have for life. It's built in as a family member, typically, who can help you to really keep this workaholism, this workaholic tendency now that you got stuck in the trap from ever becoming a reality again.
I tell you, I resonate with that. Where I got into a relationship recently with this amazing woman, and a great partner will always be able to inspire you, move you forward, reel you back in when you're just doing too much, and bring you back into sense to realize what's important. So if anybody knows about achieving balance, it's definitely you having 6 kids, an amazing family, and being able to scale. And I got to be a part of that and see that happen throughout the community that we're in. It was amazing to see. So one guy that definitely understands what it is to work smart, work hard and be able to balance that and live a fruitful life is Travis. I must say that. So I don't know if I ever expressed it that way. I think.
Thanks, man. That's very, very kind of you. And yeah, you've seen me kind of go through this process over this last year, and it hasn't been completely transformational, but I've really tried to stick to my guns and not work past the hours that I, don't want to be working. I usually work, like I said, like 30 hours a week. It would be easy to say, well, this project requires me to work more, but it would be going against everything that I teach and believe to do that. So it's almost the writing this book has kept me in those boundaries so that I can be working out of integrity, spending those Saturdays and Friday afternoons with my family and Sunday giving to the community and being with my family. Like that's really important for me. Plus, I get in my bike rides. I do mountain bike rides. I still work out at home, my home gym, stay healthy because that it's so important. Your body is healthy right now when it's easy to say, well, I'm so stressed. The market's got me stressed. The business is stressful, so I work more. And it's a tendency for workaholics to get into, and it's just the wrong thing. When you can get out of your business and work out like I mean, what you teach people to do, it actually has research backed psychological research that shows you're better, you're more productive, you're clear headed, than if you didn't do these things and kept the health aspect, the physical, emotional, and psychological health aspects of your body working at top notch.
I tell you, with a couple of people that have been, I was going to get into fitness, so I'm glad you mentioned it. With some of my clients and people that I've worked with throughout the pandemic specifically, I've seen the beginning of the pandemic where everybody was stressing out. They were like, "Hey, let's hold off on training. I'm not sure what's about to happen, or let's just see what happens." The clients that when they felt comfortable, we got back to training. Some VIPs I meet in person, I'm masked up. I have some clients that are virtual. They were seeing benefits in their obviously their posture, their own health. They started to take the proper steps to eat better because when we're home, now that we're home 24/7, some people just kind of fall off the wayside and they'll start to have, I'm being very excessive and dramatic here, but cookies for breakfast.
Right? No, it's true. It's true.
And it's more so it's that comfort aspect. It's good that we're home, we're able to be with family, but then comfort is a double-edged sword. Too much comfort is not good. So with one client, he was able to, leave a job he was at, find a job with the same, make a lateral move for his position, and have a phenomenal bonus where he's able to take care of his family, upgrade, and still progress within this pandemic. And I have another client who, with the principles and philosophies that are in the book Core Fitness coming out tomorrow for pre-order, he's working with two teams that are looking to close billion-dollar deals. And he opened up to me, telling me how he felt that him investing back into his fitness has helped him just be clearer with his mindset, be able to feel confident and continue to just be his best self. And there's nothing more that makes me happy than seeing people see their goals out.
Yeah, and when they can do that, what they are not typically thinking of is how it's going to affect their business, but it does. It affects it, like those two pieces. If you can have really good balance, it's because you are achieving your personal goals and your business goals. And when you achieve your personal goals, it's actually motivation to stick to your boundaries at work because you need to spend time working out. You need to spend time, going on a mountain bike ride. You need to spend time being with your family, and it becomes actually the padding around your work schedule so you don't overwork. It's the preventative medicine that you need, as well as keeping you healthy. And I'm a big believer, that big proponent. My book actually was in the category on Amazon Kindle on work health, and that's perfect. Like, it's work related health, because if we're not doing these things, we're not keeping balance, it throws all of our health off. In fact, when I was caught in this trap, I was newlywed. My wife and I had been married for 2 years. We had actually 3 years. We had a couple of children, and it was like newlywed, new parents, new business. It was all new, and trying to find the balance between everything was really rough. and I gained weight. I gained 30 pounds. And I'm not, an overweight guy. Like this was new to me. 25 with a gut. I'm like, what is that? What am
Like
I doing?
this
Like,
happened.
where'd that tire come from? It's like, geez, reach and touch that sucker. And I wasn't mountain biking anymore. I was out of college and I wasn't playing intramural sports. There was nobody like knocking on my door saying, come on, let's go, let's go. We just kind of got sucked into the business. And that's where I find a lot of people, they just kind of slip into these habits. Oh, the pandemic slipped me into these things that I want to eat cookies for breakfast. Why? Because it's comfort. It's comfort. It's comfort food. Working out is not comfortable. We don't like it a lot of the time until afterwards. We're like, I'm so glad I did that. That's the endorphin. You know all about this. The endorphins that come back and feed our body, telling us, great job. Keep doing this. This is good for me. But it's also that psychological piece that's saying, I took care of my body today. Check. Now I can move on to these other things. But I have a stand-up desk. Like I've got, a really comfortable chair. I try to walk a lot. Like it continues throughout the day, especially if you begin with a great workout, healthy food. You don't want to blow it. You want to keep that working and keep going so that you can be more productive.
And that's one thing I like to tie in with just everything that I do with my type of training, the book, where within the first portion, which is called the first part of my philosophy is called metamorphosis, the actual transformation you want. The people that get the best goals are the ones that are able to tie in who they're becoming, and the reason why that they're working out is strongly attached to either family, some type of motivation, something that they're overcoming, because they know after that workout, all right, good, I'm becoming disciplined, I am getting closer to being able to be a better man for my family, a better woman for my family, better brother or sister, by being able to show up and be healthy, be active, and just have a great state of mind. So I really do appreciate you sharing those stories, and one, and also just being able to let people realize that as you had a lot to do, you have 6 kids, you have your wife, you're still taking time out to be a whole person, going back to the holistic aspect of what life is. You're taking the time out to ride your bike, you're taking time out to be cognizant while you're working, to be able to provide for your family, you're standing tall. I'm sitting down right now, I'll tell you that for sure.
Well, and
Great.
honestly, I take breaks. I got reminders to stand up and stuff like that. But really, I don't want to stand up all day either. Like it's a toll on my knees a little bit. So I sit down, make sure I'm comfortable when I'm seated. But it's just this idea, this continual idea of health is ever present. Like although I talked about checking that box, I have my workout done. It's ever present. Like how are we staying healthy, staying fit throughout the day? You can't just have a great workout and then blow it on too many carbs or whatever whatever the issue is on your nutrition. That tends to go with it, and actually they motivate each other. If you're eating well, you want to work out. If you're working out, you don't want to fill your body with things that aren't nutritious. You want to keep that balance. So really, really good points. Plus, then it helps you to achieve those goals. A lot of health goals, fitness goals, tend to be related to our relationships. If our body is healthy, then we can attract that person if we're looking for that person. If our body's healthy, then we can be there to provide. We can spend the time. We're not on the medications, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what you help people do. But if we're more healthy, it actually relates to relationships. It also is cheaper for us. We can invest more of our money into our business, the market, whatever you want to be doing, because you're taking care of your body now. Now, obviously, we all have different challenges. We all have different genetics. I'm not saying that does away with every health problem, in the world, but there's a domino effect that when you take care of your body, it actually long term, long run tends to be cheaper for you to live your life.
Yeah, and for anybody that is going through some type of health issue, if you start to clean up your diet, you start to get cleaned up and start working out, those are two variables that you can slowly start to remove from, hey, what is causing me harm? What is making me feel ill? So if anybody ever needs to go talk to a health practitioner, a doctor, if your fitness is on point and your nutrition is being cleaned up or is on point as well, now the conversations with your health practitioner can be that more effective because now you know I'm active, I'm eating right, but I can fix a couple of things here and there. That conversation will go a lot further than, hey, I haven't been doing anything that with my diet. I don't know where I'm at. Doctor, save me, you know?
That's right. That's right. And it's interesting, American healthcare, we could talk about this a lot, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
just want that magic pill, right? We just want like, what's that fix? And a lot of times the fix is hard work. The fix is doing those things that we know we should, exercise, eating right. But we want to go to the doctor to fix us. And really, doctors are not really taught nutrition. They take like a class, maybe, or two, maybe. And they're not taught necessarily fitness or you know maybe in general if they took a basic fitness class in college or something like that, but typically they are prescribing medication as their medical practitioner. You can go to holistic health practitioner, you can go to nutritionist that can teach you how to eat right, somebody like you who can teach them how to have better fitness, maybe even eat right as well, that goes with that workout. That should be our number one. In America, we have basically three types of help: primary, tertiary, primary, secondary, tertiary. So first, second, third. Our primary is those kind of do-it-yourself, at-home nutrition, exercise types of things first. The second are like other types of supplements, maybe medications as needed. And then third is tertiary, is surgery or therapy, right? And so a lot of us want to go straight to the therapist or straight to the doctor, and they're going to provide the tertiary intervention. When in reality, we need the first, and you should probably start there first and before you move down to these other solutions. But we're so used to give me the magic pill type of mentality in our society that we don't go to the exercise or the nutrition first, and it's just the wrong way. It should be the other way around.
It's interesting because, America has become like a fast food type of world where everything just comes to us fast. And from every person that I've talked to that's successful, the overnight successes took 10 years. People that
That's right.
have made a great change within their health. I had a client that I worked with about 3 years ago, and he was around 300 pounds. We reconnected a year and a half ago, and he had lost 60 to 80 pounds on his own with working, just focusing on his diet, walking more. I think he may have been working with another trainer. Then he wanted to just continue to keep up the change. And the conversations were different. His mindset was different. He was taking action. We were waking up at 4 o'clock to be at the gym at 5. And it takes humility and hard work. You have to have humility to yourself to say, okay, what is it that I'm not doing? What is it that I am doing? Who can I look for? And then put the work in, find the right specialist, talk to them, take the right steps to work on cleaning up your health, cleaning up your fitness. And that will just make every other aspect of your life grow. And I've just seen it from so many people that it really is about taking things slower in a sense to be able to amplify your growth.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Slow down. We're in a fast-paced society. If anything, that a lot of people that I've interviewed over this past year have learned from the pandemic is how good it felt to slow down. While they might have been stressed about what's going on and uncertain about the future and still maybe are, the slowdown is so helpful to pause and be present more with our family. I mean, especially when you have kids, like you're running around to practices and this and the other, and our schedules get so full. So we decided as our family that when no more soccer practice or rugby or music lessons or any, all that was canceled, right? And we were together all the time. So now that we are kind of back into some of those things, we've set apart Thursday night as our night and we just hang out together. Like no plans, just we hang out. We might go on a bike ride or on a trail run or a walk or something, but we're there together. Because otherwise, Friday nights the teenagers go in one direction, and Saturday night we're trying to get ready for the new week. Um, and I think that's really helpful for us to keep that connection that we got a taste of during the pandemic. But it's also good for our, health in general to just slow it down. We think if sometimes when we speed up and we work harder and more, that we're going to be productive, but it's not necessarily true. We're more productive when we're doing those things that are more important at work. And that might cause us to slow down a little bit. What is that most important thing? I call it your sweet spot. When you're working in your top 5 or 6 activities per day that are the most productive for you, the most enjoyable for you. And if you're there 80 to 90% of the time, that's a really good place to be. If you're not, if you're working in those areas less than 50%, that's where I usually see my clients. They begin there and they think they're an advisor, they think they're a coach, they think they are whatever. And they may be doing that some of the time, but sometimes as low as like 30% of their overall time spent in those highest productivity, productive activities. So they are not truly getting the things done that they should be, but they may be racing around at high speed, getting a bunch of really, maybe medium to lower prioritized activities. And then they wonder, well, how come I'm not as successful? Why am I only getting paid $50 an hour when I'm worth 700?
Gotcha. And that's we're spending the time on the logo, spending time on the back end office, as opposed to sometimes just doing the hard work and putting the head down and enjoying it.
That's right.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Travis, this was great. Is there anything you want to leave the viewers with?
I love what you're all about, Raph. I love that, this is a huge part of what so many people need right now as business owners, just out there in the world as maybe even self motivated individuals. Like we need fitness right now. We need that as part of our overall balance. And can't say enough about you. You're fantastic. You're a great motivator as far as getting people out there and to being healthy. And it's a great part of really of achieving balance. So I hope you get Raf's book. Check out my website, achievingbalancebook.com, on Wednesday, April 24th, and get your free paperback. Just pay the shipping and we'll send it out to you.
Lovely. And for Core Fitness, you can pre-order it tomorrow, Saturday, March 20th at pre-order.raphaelvelasquez.com. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Travis.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
See ya.